To watch these important lessons, subscribe to DP Education's YouTube channel right now. Click on the bell icon to stay updated on the latest lessons. Sri Lanka's largest free online school, DP Education.
Right, children. In this chapter, we are going to discuss the exercise. So as I explained in the previous chapter, you all have to write the answers for all the questions by yourselves before you watch this video. Okay? So when I explain the answers, you can check whether your answers are correct or not. So let's start by doing the exercise given in the textbook first. So exercise. Select the suitable word to fill the blanks from the words given in the brackets. Okay? International unit of measuring temperature is. Now there are different units of measuring temperature: Celsius scale, Fahrenheit scale and Kelvin scale. So out of those three scales, what is the SI unit, children? That is Kelvin. Degree Celsius, Kelvin. Answer is Kelvin. Heat transfers from the sun to the earth by, what is the method? Radiation. Conduction. Conduction is the method of heat transfer through solids. Okay. Radiation. Without any medium, heat can travel from one place to another place by radiation. Number 3. Aluminium pot on a hearth heats mainly by getting heat by. Aluminium pot is a solid. Through solid substances, heat transfers by conduction. So conduction, convection. Answer is conduction. Temperature at which liquid water converts to ice is cold. The liquid converts to ice. Right? So when we consider solid converts to liquid. So when solid converts to liquid is known as, the temperature at which a solid converts to its liquid is known as the melting point. Here question asks temperature at which liquid water converts to ice. Liquid converts to ice means solid. Right? Liquid converts to solid is known as, the specific temperature at which a liquid converts to its solid is known as the freezing point. Okay? So, boiling point, freezing point. Okay, answer is freezing point. Number 5. Sea breeze and land breeze occur because of the phenomenon of. As a result of occurrence of convectional currents, sea breeze and land breeze occur. Right? So, convection in the air. Right? That is the answer. Okay, children? So, international unit of measuring temperature is Kelvin. Heat transfers from the sun to the earth by radiation. Aluminium pot on a hearth heats mainly by getting heat by conduction. Temperature at which liquid water converts to ice is called the freezing point of water at atmospheric pressure. Sea breeze and land breeze occur because of the phenomenon of convection in the air. Right? We'll move on to the next. Select the correct answer out of those given. The body temperature of a healthy human. What is the body temperature of a healthy human, children? 0 degrees Celsius, 37 degrees Celsius, 98 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Celsius. What is the answer? 37 degrees Celsius. 36.9, which means 37 degrees Celsius. Number 2, a substance that conducts heat well. What type of substances conduct heat well? Heat conductors. What are the best heat conductors? Metals conduct heat well. Right? Water, air, glass, iron. So out of these 4 answers, iron is the metal. Right? So iron is the answer. The heat insulating substance. Heat insulating substance are the substances that do not conduct heat well. We'll go through this. Aluminium, copper, paper, lead. Aluminium, copper, lead, they all are metals. Metals conduct heat well. Paper does not conduct heat well. A liquid that conducts heat well is, we'll go through this, water, alcohol, mercury, kerosene. So out of these four answers, mercury is a liquid, but it is a liquid metal. Metals conduct heat well. So even though mercury is a liquid, because it is a metal, it conducts heat well. That is why we use mercury to fill the thermometer bulbs, okay? Warmth is felt in a house where the roof is covered with metal sheets. What is the method of heat transfer into this house? When you are inside the house, when we feel warmth, when the outside of the house gets heated up, we feel the warmth inside. What is the reason, children? Because of radiation. Okay? Expansion, conduction, convection, radiation is the answer. The body temperature of a healthy man is 37 degrees Celsius. The substance that conducts heat well is iron. A heat insulating substance is paper. A liquid that conducts heat well is mercury. Warmth is felt in a house where the roof is covered with metal sheets. What's the method of heat transfer into this house? Radiation. Right? So we have completed the exercise given in the textbook. We are going to do some extra questions too. Exercise number 1. Underline the most suitable answer. Right? 4 choices are given each. Question number 1. The measurement of the warmness or coldness of a substance is known as, what is this measurement known as? It is known as temperature. Right? The measurement of, how to measure the warmness or coldness, or the heat can be measured as temperature. We measure the temperature. Okay? The measurement of the warmness or coldness of a substance is known as heat. Heat is an energy, thermal energy. It's the same thing. Right? Temperature, radiation. Temperature is the answer. Radiation is a method of transferring heat. Right? Temperature. Number 2. The property of a liquid that is used in making thermometers is, which property is used even during an experiment? We studied this, expansion. By absorbing heat, liquids expand. All the substances expand. Liquids increase the volume. Okay? Physical property, expansion, density, thermal property. Answer is expansion. Number 3. The international standard unit to measure temperature. What is the SI unit of measuring temperature out of the 3 units? That is Kelvin. Right? Celsius, Fahrenheit, Celsius or Fahrenheit, Kelvin. Kelvin is the answer. Number 4. The substance with the highest boiling point is, what type of substances have relatively higher boiling points, children? We learned that metals have relatively higher boiling points than non-metals. We'll go through this. Iron, water, sulfur, alcohol. Water, sulfur, alcohol, they all are non-metals. Right? Iron is a metal. So, the substance with the highest boiling point out of these 4 substances is iron. Okay? Number 5. Not a characteristic of the clinical thermometer. Why do we use the clinical thermometer? To measure the body temperature. Okay? The presence of a fine bend in the capillary tube. That is correct. That is one specific feature of clinical thermometer that the other thermometers don't have. Okay? The temperature range is short. That is also correct. Right? Temperature range is also short. Okay? After the thermometer is removed from the body, the mercury column falls down. But that won't happen. Why? Because of the presence of the fine bend, we have enough time to read the thermometer reading without it being falling down. Okay? Should be used only to measure the body temperature. This is also correct, children. Right? Because it has a shorter range, we cannot use it to measure the other temperatures, like the temperature of boiling water. No, we cannot. Okay? So, not a characteristic. This will not happen in, like falling down or dropping of the mercury column will not happen in the clinical thermometer. Right? Number 6. Traveling of heat from one place to another place is called heat traveling from one place to another place is known as heat transfer, right? Heat conduction, heat convection, heat radiation, heat transfer. Conduction, convection, radiation are the three methods of heat transfer. So the main answer is heat transfer. Number 7. People living in cold countries use woolen clothes to maintain their body temperature, because to protect their body temperature, they have to wear clothes made with heat insulators, right? So wool clothes are good insulators. Therefore, it will protect. It will not let heat pass through it. Okay? Woolen clothes get charged quickly. Woolen clothes are good heat insulators. Woolen clothes are good heat conductors. Wool radiates heat well. Answer number 2, because they are good insulators. Right. Number 8. Any heated object conducts heat. Is this true? No. Any heated object cannot conduct heat. Okay? Radiates heat. Absorbs heat. Only solids conduct heat. Right? Radiates heat. Just any object can radiate heat. Absorbs heat. Any heated object, there's a maximum it can absorb. Transfers heat. It's also not always possible, right? Any heated object radiates heat. Right, children? Number 9. Sea breeze occurs during sea breeze. What is the meaning of sea breeze? The wind that blows from seaside to the landslide. What is the time of the day this happens? During the daytime, right? Okay, so I hope you remember we learned that when it comes to the sea breeze and land breeze. Sea breeze occurs during daytime because during the daytime, land gets heated up faster and the air layers next to the land gets heated up and rise up as convectional currents. Therefore, what happens? Here low pressure area is created. To fill this low pressure area, wind currents come from the seaside. Then this is called sea breeze. This happens during the daytime, right? Sea breeze occurs during daytime, night, evening, morning. Daytime is the time. Number 10. A metal spoon in a cup of tea gets heated soon due to, what is the answer? Radiation, conduction, convection, expansion. Metal spoon is solid, right? Through a solid, heat transfers by conduction, right? Answer number 2. Right? We'll move on to the next. Exercise number 2. So, do you remember we did this activity, children? What are the changes that can be seen in the bottles with colored water that are immersed in warm and cold water? So we used 2 similar bottles, filled both of them with colored water, fixed empty pen tubes to both of them and with a cork stopper, with a rubber stopper, right? Then we immersed one bottle in warm water, the other bottle in cold water. What did we observe? The bottle immersed in warm water, the liquid level in the pen tube of the bottle in warm water rises up, right? Here the liquid level falls down, okay? So warm water, liquid level in the pen tube rises up. In cold water, when we immerse the bottle in cold water, the liquid level in the pen tube falls down. Right? Liquid level in the pen tube rises up, liquid level in the pen tube falls down. Number 2, write the reason for the above observations. Now we know this happens because of contraction and expansion, right? When you immerse this colored water in warm water, this colored water absorbs warm water and its heat goes up, right? Its temperature increases, right? When it gets heated up, the volume of the liquid increases, and this is called expansion. Right? Here, the opposite takes place. When you immerse this colored water bottle in cold water, that colored water cools down. Therefore, the liquid level or the volume decreases, and this happens because of the contraction. Okay, we will write. We will write number 1 and 2, then it's easy to write the answer. In the first setup, colored water absorbs heat and expands. Volume increases. Therefore, the liquid level goes up. In the second setup, colored water cools down and contracts, which means volume decreases. Therefore, the liquid level falls down. Write the reason for the above observations. In the first setup, colored water absorbs heat and expands, which means volume increases. Therefore, the liquid level goes up. In the second setup, colored water cools down and contracts. Therefore, the liquid level falls down. What is the importance of using colored water in each bottle? What is the reason? So we can clearly observe the increase and decreased levels of water, right? For better observation, for clear observation. Okay, children? What is the property of increase of the volume of a liquid by gain in heat cold? What is this property is called? Now we already discussed. That is known as expansion. What is the instrument made by using the above property of liquids? Thermometer. Write 2 liquids used in the above instrument, right? To fill the bulb of the thermometer, basically, we can use 2 liquids, mercury and colored alcohol, okay? Mercury, colored alcohol. Again, we use colored alcohol for better observation. Colored alcohol. Right, children? So what are the changes that can be seen in the bottles with colored water that are immersed in warm and cold water in this setup? Warm water, liquid level in the pen tube rises up. In the second one, liquid level in the pen tube falls down. Write the reason for the above observations. In the first setup, colored water absorbs heat and expands. Therefore, the liquid level goes up. In the second setup, colored water cools down and contracts. Therefore, the liquid level falls down. What is the importance of using colored water in each bottle? For clear observation. What is the property of increase of the volume of a liquid by gain in heat called expansion of liquids, right? What is the instrument made by using the above property? Thermometer. Right, two liquids used in the above instrument. To fill the bulb, we use mercury and colored alcohol. Moving to the next one. Exercise number 3. Define what the melting point of a substance is. What is the meaning of melting point? When heat is applied to a solid substance at a certain temperature, it starts to change to its liquid, or very simply, it starts melting. The specific temperature or the constant temperature at which a solid turns to its liquid is known as the melting point. Right? We will write. Define what the melting point of a substance is. The constant temperature. The constant temperature at which a solid substance changes or changes to its liquid. Right? Define what the boiling point of a substance is. So when heat is provided to a liquid, at one point it gets heated up, and at one point it will change to its gas. Right? So that constant temperature, because during that time period of change in take place, what happens, children? The temperature remains constant without changing. So the specific temperature is known as the boiling point, right? The constant temperature at which a liquid substance changes to its gaseous state. Right, children? Define what the melting point of a substance is. The constant temperature at which a solid substance changes to its liquid state. To its liquid state is known as the melting point of that substance. Okay? Define what the boiling point of a substance. The constant temperature at which a liquid substance changes to its gaseous state is known as the boiling point of that substance. Right, children? We'll move on to the next. Exercise number 4. Traveling of heat from one place to another place is called heat transfer. Describe the 3 methods of heat transfer. What are the 3 methods of transferring heat, children? Conduction, convection, and radiation. So conduction is the method of transferring heat through solids. There the particles will not move. Right? Convection is the method of transferring heat through gases and liquids. There the heat is transferred by moving the particles. Radiation is the method of transferring heat through without participating any particles. Right, children? We will write. Number 1, conduction. Heat transfers through solids by conduction. Here, the particles or solid particles do not move. Number 2, convection. heat transfers through liquids and gases by convection. Heat transfers by moving the particles here. Number 3, radiation. The method of transferring heat without particles. What else can we write? So all heated objects radiates heat. Right? Conduction. Heat transfers through solids by conduction. Here the particles do not move. Right? Convection. Heat transfers through liquids and gases by convection. Heat transfers by moving the particles. Right? Radiation. The method of transferring heat without the involvement of particles. All heated objects radiate heat. Okay? We'll move on to the next. Exercise number 5. Name the method of transmission of heat in the following instances. We'll go through them. A metal spoon in a glass of hot water. How does it get heated? Metal spoon from one end to the other end. Heat transmits by conduction. Conduction. Number 2. Waving of small twigs of trees above a large fire. Above a large fire, convectional currents occur. Right? Because of the convectional currents, when they move up, it makes these twigs and branches move. Okay? So, waving of small twigs of trees above a large fire, convection. Number 3. Feeling warm when we are near a fire. Even when we don't touch anything, when we are near a heated object, we feel the warmth of it. That is because of radiation. Because all the heated objects radiate heat. Radiation. Feeling warm in a house where the roof is covered with metal sheets. Inside the house we feel when the outside of the house gets heated up. When you are inside, we feel it. That is also because of radiation. Radiation. Frying fish in a pan. When we use a pan to fry fish, when the pan gets heated up and it transmits to fish, that is by conduction. Right, children? So, name the method of transmission of heat in the following instances. A metal spoon in a glass of hot water by conduction. Waving of small twigs of trees above a large fire due to convection. Feeling warm when we are near a fire, radiation. Feeling warm in a house where the roof is covered with metal sheets, that's also due to radiation. Frying fish in a pan, it gets heated up due to conduction. Right? We'll move on to the next. Exercise 6. An apparatus used to study a certain method of transmission of heat is given below. Do you remember we did this activity? So what did we study by using this set of children? We studied a certain method of transmission of heat, that is convection, right? So, which method of heat transfer can be studied using these apparatus? What is the method, children? Convection. What can be seen when the candle is lit inside B? When we light the candle inside B and when we bring the joystick smoke closer to the mouth of side A, you can see joystick smoke goes down, enters the beaker from side A and goes out from side B. It nicely goes under this cardboard and goes out from side B. Okay? We'll write. Joystick smoke enters the beaker from side A and goes out from side B. The joystick smoke enters the beaker from side A and goes out from side B. What is the reason for the above observation? When we light the candle, above the candle air gets heated up and it goes out as convectional currents. So then a low pressure area is created above the flame. Okay, so to fill that gap, to fill that space, cold air comes from side A, comes from outside from side A, and along with that cold air, it brings this joystick smoke. Okay, so that is the reason. We will write. Heated air inside A goes up as convectional currents. Convectional currents. Leaving a low pressure area above the flame. To fill this space, cool air comes from side A. Now here heated air inside B goes up. Cool air comes from side A along with smoke. Right, children? Heated air inside B goes up as convectional currents, leaving a low pressure area above the flame. Right? To fill this space, cool air comes from side A along with smoke. Okay? We'll move on to the next. Exercise number 7. Answer the questions using the diagram given below. Even this activity we did in the lab. Okay? Which change of states of matter takes place here? It's very easy. We used ice. We actually use this setup to check the melting point of ice. Ice is melting, which means solid is changing to its liquid. Which change of state of matter takes place here? Solid. Here solid used was ice. Changes to its liquid. Water. Change of states of matter is solid to liquid. You can even write it by putting an arrow. Solid changes to liquid. right? What is the constant temperature at which a solid substance changes to its liquid state called? So this takes place. Change in ice into water, melting ice takes place at a constant temperature. During this time period, the temperature won't change. What is the specific temperature called? This is known as the melting point, right? What is the constant temperature at which the solid substance changes to its liquid state called melting point? Melting point, right? What could be the reading of the thermometer in this instance? Now here we used ice. What is the melting point of ice? I told you all it's better if you can memorize these type of related to water, the temperatures. If you can memorize, it's better. What is the melting point of ice? 0 degrees Celsius, right? What could be the reading of the thermometer? It won't change throughout the time period ice is melting. It will remain at 0. Right, children? Okay. Next one. Exercise number 8. Answer the questions using the diagram given below. So, do you remember this diagram? We used a similar diagram to check the boiling point of water. Okay. Which change of states of matter takes place here? What happens here when you supply heat to water? It gets heated up and at one point it starts boiling, which means it changes, liquid water changes to its gaseous state, into steam, right? Which change of states of matter takes place here? Liquid, here liquid means water, into gas, steam, right? So liquid into gas. Okay. What is the constant temperature at which a liquid substance changes to its gaseous state called? What is the specific name given to this incident at this specific temperature? Right? The temperature will remain constant without changing while the water finishes boiling and changing to its gaseous state. This specific temperature is called known as boiling point. Okay? Boiling point. What could be the reading of the thermometer? What could be the boiling point of water? You have to memorize this bit. Boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius, right? Therefore, at this time, the thermometer reading could be 100 degrees Celsius. Right. We'll move on to the next. Exercise number 9. What is the suitable place to keep the bulb of the thermometer when taking the temperature of an adult? What is a place? Under the tongue. If it's a baby, under the armpits, right? Under the tongue. Under the tongue. Number 2. What is the body temperature of a healthy person? If we consider in degrees Celsius, 36.9, and we can even take it as 37 degrees Celsius, right? 36.9 degrees Celsius or 37 degrees Celsius, right? What is the importance of the fine bend in the capillary tube of the clinical thermometer? Because of the presence of this fine bend, you get adequate time to read the temperature before it falls down or rise up, right? When you take thermometer out of the mouth of this, when you take the bulb away from the patient, if it's a normal thermometer, the mercury column will definitely drop or maybe even increase. But here, because of the presence of the fine bend, it prevents this, like falling down or rising up of the mercury column, prevents, right? Okay, we'll write it prevents the rising up or falling down of the mercury column before read the measurement. Before reading the measurement. Right, children? What is the importance of the fine bend in the capillary tube of the clinical thermometer? It prevents the rising up or falling down of the mercury column before reading the measurement. Okay? We'll move on to the next. Question 10. What are heat conductors? Now, conduction is the method of heat transferring through solids. So, what are heat conductors? Heat conductors are the substances that conduct heat well. So, basically, most of the metals are good heat conductors. Okay? What are heat conductors? The substances that conduct heat well. Conduct heat well. Right? What are heat conductors? The substances that conduct heat well. Write 3 examples of heat conductors. You can write examples of metals. Iron, copper, silver. You can write other examples as well. What are heat insulators? The opposite of this. The substances that do not conduct heat well. So what are the examples of heat insulators, children? Rigifoam, paper, wood, glass, those are rubber, plastic, they are coming under heat insulators. Okay? Right. What are heat insulators? The substances that do not conduct heat well. Right? What are heat insulators? The substances that do not conduct heat well. Write 3 examples of heat insulators. Let's write plastic, wood, rubber. Right, children? Examples of heat insulators. You can write the other examples too. Right? We'll move on to the next. Right. Exercise number 11. Briefly describe how sea breeze occurs. Now we described this several times, right? Sea breeze occurs during the daytime, right? How does this happen, children? During the daytime, the land gets heated up faster because of the sun's heat. Land and water or the sea both gets heated up, but land gets heated up faster than sea. So compared to the temperatures, land's heat is higher. Okay? So therefore, what happens, children? The air layers next to the land gets heated up and rises up as convectional currents. This creates a low pressure zone above the land. So to fill this low pressure area, air layers, air currents come from the sea towards the land, and this is known as sea breeze. Okay? We will write during the daytime, land gets heated faster than the sea water. Air layers above the land absorbs heat and rises up as convectional currents. Convectional currents making a low pressure area. To fill this space, air flows from the sea to land. This is called the sea breeze. Right, children? Briefly describe how sea breeze occurs. During the daytime, land gets heated faster than sea water. Air layers above the land absorbs heat and rises up as convectional currents, making a low pressure area above the land. Right? To fill this space, air flows from the sea to land area. This is called the sea breeze. Okay? So, land breeze occurs in the opposite way during the night time, right? Right. Write the following information related to the land breeze. Time of the day that occurs? Night, right? During the night time, this takes place. Direction of flow? The opposite of this, from the land to the sea. From the land to the sea. Right, children? From the land to the sea is the direction, the opposite of this. Okay? Additional exercise 12. This is the last exercise of the lesson. Okay? We'll go through this. Why does the water in the black colored tanks overheat? Which means heats faster when there is strong sunlight. Now we all know the reason. When it comes to the black color, right? Black color absorbs radiated heat, right? Due to the sunlight is radiated heat. So then what happens? Black color substances, objects can absorb radiated heat very fast. Because of that, the water present inside the black color tanks also get heated up, right? Why does the water in the black color tanks overheat when there is strong sunlight? Because black surfaces absorb radiated heat fast. Therefore, the water in black color tanks also gets heated fast, right? Because black surfaces absorb radiated heat fast, which means the black colored tanks absorb radiated heat fast and makes the water also get heated. Therefore, the water in black colored tanks also gets heated fast. Okay, children? So we have completed the entire lesson. So under the lesson, we learned so many topics, right? We learned so many things about heat and temperature. Now we know how to use a thermometer correctly, right? And now we know how heat transfers through different substances. There are 3 ways of transferring heat through substances, right? Different media. And we answered a lot of questions. We did a lot of experiments too. So I hope you got a better understanding on this lesson.
To watch these important lessons, subscribe to DP Education's YouTube channel right now. Click on the bell icon to stay updated on the latest lessons. Sri Lanka's largest free online school, DP Education.